He started playing two high safeties in the NFL, and it feels like everybody's losing their mind. Mel Kiper with the latest clip out of ESPN that might melt your brain. Let's get to the clip here.
Exactly what your problem is with it. How would you try and solve it?
Well, I grew up with the best of the National Football League, 60s, 70s, into the 80s. You're talking about deep shots, right? The go route, the 9-route post. You're talking about Terry Bradshaw in a Super Bowl hitting John Stallworth. You see Leroy Irvin diving, right, just off his fingertips. There's the receiver. They laid it out there, right? Hit the receiver in stride, 65.
Okay, all right. Can we address that he is talking about? He's using a back in my day argument, Cove, about throwing the football deep. And he talk about, yeah, back in my day when Terry Bradshaw was playing quarterback, we was throwing it deep. That's the NFL that I love.
Just play the clip. Like we gotta get through this.
What is he talking about?
We gotta get through this.
What does he mean? Terry Bradshaw was like getting the MVP off 150 passing yards. What are you doing?
5-yard touchdown. It's a beautiful thing to watch. That's what I want to see brought back to the National Football League. Okay, check down kings, bubble screen sensations, boring football. Game manager, I get it, but I want to see those deep shots. That's what the NFL was built on. I grew up with John Unitas, Fran Tarkington, Ken Stabler, Darryl LaMonica. Yo, you talk about quarterback.
Oh, okay. Did this motherfucker just say Johnny Unitas?
Ken Stabler?
The deep ball days of Johnny Unitas.
I'm not gonna lie. Bubble screen sensation was fire. I like that one. I did like that one. That was fire. I like that one. But what is he talking about, bro?
You just saying shit. What is he talking? Now the deep ball is old school? Dog, when Johnny Unitas was playing, like, quarterbacks didn't even win the MVP. It was running backs. What is he even referring to?
I don't know, bro.
Like,
I
what?
don't know.
Johnny Unitas was out here throwing for on average 2,000 passing yards. What the fuck is he on about? Like, Johnny Unitas' highest passing season, he had 3,400 yards.
That's a down Derek Carr year.
20 touchdowns. What is he on, man?
That's a bad Derek Carr season.
Not a single year where the yards per attempt were over 10 yards.
If Kirk Cousins had that kind of season, we would say he's done. He's washed. It's time to retire.
It's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Like, what is he making? I've never heard somebody make a back in my day argument about passing the football. And, like, this dude ain't, like, 15, where back in his day was, like, 2017. Like, I would get it. You too old for this shit. Mel, you lived through the 2000s. What are you talking about?
He didn't say Drew Brees. He didn't say Peyton Manning.
Because that's not his day. That's not back in his day. No,
Phillip Rivers, nothing.
He went to two-bar football, right? He went to back in the day where you could play and just do this with your face mask and just lift it up. Like, that's what he's talking about. He's talking about football with sweaters on.
I kind of don't want to finish the clip, but we gotta finish the clip.
We gotta, because what is he talking about?
We got to.
Backs, Joe Namath, it was just right. Brett Favre when he was doing what he did. Burt Jones with the Baltimore Colts. You think about
Brett
those
Favre.
quarterbacks who would throw the ball down the field. I'd say what Bradshaw did with Stallworth and Swan, Roger Staubach. That's what I want to see brought back. Say, well, you can't do that, right? Well, you got a 5-yard rule with the
Hey, man, do we bring up the obvious? I feel like these quarterback names he bringing up, man. Something don't feel right about that. Like, why is he going back to Johnny Unitas and Terry Bradshaw? Why can't he bring up Doug Williams? Like, he threw the ball down. Randall Cunningham.
He do the ball
know?
downfield.
Hey man, why are we going back to this era of passer? It feels suspicious.
Warm
Moon?
Could get a mention.
Warren Moon in? Moon's in the name. I thought he threw it deep, right? No, we talk about Terry Bradshaw though. He done did all the deep cuts on all the '60s quarterbacks. He bringing up that Burt Jones. Hey, we gonna find out that was the Kirk Cousins at the time. Like this. Why? I'm just saying, man.
It's a little interesting for Mel. It's a little interesting.
This is interesting, right? Because he didn't even bring up the new dudes. He going way back in the day here.
Got to figure out competition. Somebody, Dano, somebody's got to figure out what that depth is, but it's too far back right now. The NFL is being ruined by these too high safeties.
Okay, another thing. He acted like everybody playing too high safety like Greg Williams.
Too far back. Oh, when he had Jabril Peppers and a whole nother.
Yeah, when he had Jabril Peppers. Yeah. That's not how that works.
Shout out Greg, man, because that was hilarious.
And by the way, it wasn't even effective.
It wasn't at all.
So like I don't think the depth of the safeties, I mean, that's not the issue, brother. Like,
oh my God, Mel.
We gotta ask the question, man. Mel Kiper, is he cooked?
Is
this Shaq on the Celtics? Like are we witnessing the washed era of Mel Kiper?
Is it Ed Reed on the Jets?
Ed Reed on the Jets, I don't even remember him playing, but it's like this is like it's visible and he's cooked. This is like, dare I say, Paul Pierce on the Wizards. Like
Paul Pierce on the Clippers.
Kevin Garnett after he left the Celtics.
Oh, KG when he went back to Minnesota? When he ended it with
Russell
Minnesota?
Westbrook in LA.
Oof.
Carmelo Anthony as a Laker. Like,
man, hurts.
This feels washed. This feels washed because he's not even correct about the thing he's complaining about.
The whole thing is, it's like, is there any more of this clip we need to watch before I say what I need to say?
Nah, we gotta get through this, dog, because I haven't seen it. Like, I didn't pre-watch this.
Mel, pick it up from there. Now that we've sort of set the table for exactly what your problem is with it, how would you try and solve it?
Well, I grew up with the best of the National Football League, 60s,
Okay.
70s, into the 80s. You're talking about deep shots, right? The go route, the 9-route post. You're talking about Terry Bradshaw in a Super Bowl hitting John Stallworth. You see
We saw this
Leroy
part,
Irvin
right?
diving, right? Just off his finger. There's the Kings,
we saw
bubble
this part.
screen sensations, boring football.
Bubble screen sensations,
Darryl
there we go.
LaMonica. You talk about quarterbacks.
Darryl
Joe Namath. It was just
LaMonica.
right. Brett Favre when he was doing what he did. Burt Jones with the Baltimore Colts. You think about those quarterbacks who would throw the ball down the field. I'd say what Bradshaw did with Stallworth and Swan, Roger Staubach. That's what I want to see brought back. Say, well, you can't do that, right? Well, you got a 5-yard rule with the cornerbacks, right? The Mel Blunt rule, right? Now with the push thing with Hurts, you got to be a yard back now. So don't tell me you can't have those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage than they are. I was at games where I'm thinking, hey, too high? They're out in outer space. I couldn't even find us. They're playing with 9 guys, right? Where are the other 2? Oh, the other 2, they're so daggone far back, I didn't even know they're part of the damn play. I'm telling you, we got to change this thing, and we got to have, hey, you can warn them. They come up, hey, guys, you got to get up a little bit, right? You're too far back. Warn those safeties, but you got to figure out, competition committee, somebody, Dano, somebody's got to figure out what that depth is, but it's too far back right now. The NFL is being ruined by these too high safeties.
I feel like you could substitute too high safeties with some other words. You know what I think this is really about with Mel, as much as we joking, Mel been wrong about a lot of quarterbacks lately. Like, all jokes aside, I know we've made some jokes about what the nature of this might be for Mel Kiper because of how he said it and presented it. But I just think Mel been wrong about a lot of quarterbacks lately. Remember he
one of
was
them
pumping
dudes?
up Will Levis?
Yeah, was he one of those dudes that was in on Bryce?
He was in on Bryce.
I was about to say, I know Will Levis was his.
Kenny Pickett.
Uh,
Yeah, he was in on that too.
yeah, Mel's been wrong a lot.
Mel's been wrong lately a lot. The league's passing him by. He don't like it. So instead of just accepting that he's wrong and readjusting how he looks at the quarterback position, he's done that thing that people do when they washed. Refuse to adjust to the times and get mad at the times for changing and try desperately to make the times not change no more. That's what he's doing. When you on TV and you arguing about we should do what we did when Joe Namath was playing football.
Johnny
What the
Unitas.
Johnny Unitas. A very interesting list of names he went back to, man. Like a very interesting list of names he went back to that deserves some analysis. But
it deserves some analysis. I'm not trying to analyze that. Here's my issue with this, though. Here's my issue with this. How come whenever NFL defenses have found something that works and that is effective, why do we try to legislate that out of the game of football immediately every time they find something? Why do we always have to accommodate the offense every single time defenses find something? Why can't the offense be the one that just has to deal with it and adjust and find something else that can work? I would recommend running the fucking football. That's just me.
Feels systemic, don't it? Like they systemically try to keep the offensive power. Like it's kind of crazy.
It's a little nuts. It's like, hey, we found something. Offenses are struggling. We like this. Now everybody wants to get it out the game immediately.
Make it illegal. What?
Why?
And look, man, Mel Kiper out here talking about too high safeties should be illegal when he damn near knows better that too high safeties is not like a new concept. It's just telling me how cooked the media landscape is, dog. We only talk about cover two, dog. Like that's all we talking about is cover two. It may be six, right? Like wait till we find out about split field coverages, by the way. Like
You know what the solution is? You know what the solution is? Hey, what about
Ram.
Run the ball. Run the fucking ball.
Get them out of it. This is football 101. But we have coddled offense so much in the last 20 years that we know the basic football 101 says, hey, if they're playing a lot of safeties over the top and they're playing with a light box, run the ball. That's football 101. We all learned that. Like the first year we learned about football. Dog, we done coddled the offense so much that we can't even be like, hey, man, let's just go to the obvious change here we've known about for decades, which is, okay, they're protecting against passing the ball a lot. Let's run it. Let's force them out those looks and then throw the ball deep. That's how it always used to work. But we got so used to just being able to throw the ball deep whenever that now that we can't do it, we crying. And that's just nuts to me, dog, that Mel Kiper is complaining about a recent change about the deep ball not being in the NFL in the last 2 years, by the way. Like, meanwhile, this thing went to a peak in like 2017, and his examples are Johnny Unitas? That's a little wild to me. like, what are we doing? So my takeaway, one, Mel Kiper is cooked. He's done.
You know what makes me feel better when I'm upset? You know what makes me feel better?
What?
Watching the middle linebacker just smack the shit out of somebody like that. I was like, you know what? That makes me feel a little bit better, knowing that my linebackers are doing that to somebody. I don't know. I like defense. I do. I like defense.
You gonna put that hit from Sunday Night Football on repeat?
Oh, you talking about
yeah,
Daniil Hunter?
Not in my backyard.
Hey, listen. Listen. I don't agree with that, but I did like that hit. It did make me feel like, ooh, football's back.
Mm-hmm. But, all right, y'all.
Up his feet to make sure Caleb.
Let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section below. Peace.